In this video, we're going to return to take a look at the tennis trading strategy of lay the leader, but with a twist. We're going to show you how you can do this strategy in the first set with lower risk. And of course, this is demonstrated with real life trading demonstrations. Go grab a nice cold beer and let's get into it. So we have done quite a lot of videos on the original lay the leader strategy that you might have seen, including one very recently. But what many don't know is you can do this strategy in the first set, and it might even be lower risk when doing so. Now, the original lay the leader strategy usually involves laying the player who has won the first set. But with this one, our entry point is slightly different. You're going to lay the first player to break serve. Or actually, it doesn't even have to be the first player, but you're just going to lay a player once they have broken serve in the first set. So they're technically the leader. They haven't won a set yet, but they are leading in the first set. So you're going to look to lay that player, and after that, you're just going to look for the losing player to level it and exit for a profit. So very, very similar. You've got a player who is leading, albeit only in the first set, so they haven't won a set yet. But if this was to happen early in the first set, there's still a lot of games to play in that first set, and so you're going to lay them, look for that losing player to then level it, and then you should be in a profitable position. Now, this strategy, it is pretty low risk and high reward, because once that first break of serve has occurred, the market has already moved hugely in favor of that player. So the big price move of the first set has already happened with that first break of serve, and the markets deem it obviously much more likely that this player is now going to go on and win the set. But after that, the only potential big price move that can happen is a swing back in the other direction, and that's what we're putting ourselves in the position to take advantage of. That's why it is quite low risk, high reward. And here's something to keep in mind: the tennis match cannot be won in the first set. So there is no threat of laying a player and then they go on the rampage and then the price just goes to 1.01 before you can react. If you think about football trading, if you were to lay a team that goes 1-0 up in the first half, well, they could score again, go 4-0 up in the first half, and they could have pretty much won the match in the first half, and it's very hard to recover from, even if they were to make it 2-0 in the first half. But the worst that can happen in a tennis match, once the player has broken serve, is they go on and win the first set. But remember, the markets have pretty much already begun to conclude that they're going to win the first set because they've got the first break of serve. So as said, it can be quite low risk to oppose that player after they've got that first break of serve. But of course, as with any strategy, especially these days, do not do this blindly. Look for good reasons to get involved. And even though the move against you, should it go wrong, won't be the biggest loss, these can all add up. So if an underdog does score the first break of serve, it can be quite routine and obvious to get involved and lay the underdog. Sometimes a favorite can get off to a slow start. And as with the original lay the leader strategy, very often you're looking for an underdog who's won the first set. You want to lay the underdog heading into the second set. However, there are many underdogs who take the lead in the first set but don't actually win the first set. They don't even get that far. And that is what this strategy can definitely take advantage of. But of course, you can look for players who are favorites who might give up a break of serve. And those are really, really low risk and probably the best opportunities to look for, albeit more advanced. So if you profile players who regularly give away breaks of serve, or just looking for players not serving well, obviously looking on the women's side of things is definitely going to be the main direction to go in. Anyway, you might be wondering just what type of price move you can get in the first set when this scenario occurs. So let's show you. Let's get into some real life demonstrations of the lay the leader strategy in the first set. But before we do, I would really, really love it if you could click the like button to help support the channel. These videos are free for you to watch. All we ask for in return is you click the like button. If you like this subject and you think that you might want to see more videos like this in the future, you should hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Okay, very, very important to make sure you get our videos in the future. Anyway, let's get into it. We've got some real life trading demonstrations of lay the leader strategy, but in the first set. So we've got Magda Lynette just taken a 3-1 lead in this first set, and her price has moved in. Okay, so it's shortened into around 1.44. Try and get this matched. Okay, let's just try and get in the market with this, and then we'll quickly bring up her chart, and then we'll see where she started. So obviously she's gone 3-1 up in this first set, so the markets start to assume she's going to win this first set. She was around a 1.9 favorite. Okay, so price has gone pretty much in half. But anyway, yeah, there's still a lot of games to play in this first set, and what we're saying, we're not saying Lynette is going to lose the match by laying her at this point. We're just saying we think the price is going to get higher at some point and we can get out with a profit. Okay, so anyway, let's see what happens. There's still, yeah, a lot of games to play in this first set. And so it has been leveled in this first set. As you can see, it has gone to 4-4. So we're going to quickly lock that in. Obviously, that's something very important to do in tennis trading. Try and make your move as soon as you can. Okay, so anyway, the profit is locked in. So we've got £51 profit locked in on both sides, and let's just see how the trade on Lynette was. Remember, we laid her at 1.5, out at 2.02. Now, just to point out as well, I mean, the price didn't really get too dangerous. Okay, so that's just something I want to keep in mind with kind of how low risk it is getting involved in the first set. They cannot win the match in the first set, so you're not going to get close to 1.01. So if you're getting in at these sort of entry points, I mean, the lowest it went was down to 1.41. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and that is why it's quite a low risk entry point. And as said, remember, when we were laying Lynette at that particular point, we weren't saying she's going to lose the match. She could well go on and win the match from here. We're just saying we think it's going to be competitive. We think Noskova is going to get back into it, and we're willing to take the chance. Okay, and if that does not happen, we will exit at the end of the first set, and we'll take the price move against us, which is not going to be huge. It's not going to be all of our stake. So yeah, anyway, just another example there, getting involved in the first set. Lynette was, what was it, 3-1 up? I can't even remember now. But anyway, it's leveled at 4-4 in the first set. So we've got an interesting one here. We're going to lay this player, Martinkova. Let's just get this in the market. Now, let's check the price, the starting price on Martinkova. She's just gone 2 love up, okay? So 2-0 up in this first set. So that's obviously what we're looking for. And let's just see what her price was, just to get an idea of where the price was before this. So it's an even matchup. So she was around even. So yeah, we're looking at 2 even players in this one. Obviously, it's gone early, 2 love in favor of Martinkova. We're going to look to see if Cornet can get back into it. We've put in that lay at 1.54. Not all of it has been taken. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to chase that price. I'm going to leave it. It could bounce back to 1.54 and be taken. If it doesn't, then that means we're in profit. So when that does happen, keep that in mind. Anyway, let's see if Cornet can get back into this one. And so just to update you on that, it's now gone 2-1. Okay, so Martinkova 2 and Cornet has 1. So you can see that's moved the price in our favor already. So that 1.54, that didn't get matched at all. And so at this point, because it's moved so much in our favor, we're just going to cancel that. So we're going to get out of that, and we're just going to roll with what we had in the market. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see if Cornet can level it up, and if we get to 2-2, we'll exit and take the profit. And yep, she has leveled it. Cornet has just leveled it at 2-2. So we're now going to cash out and take that profit before the odds move against us. You've got to be very, very fast in tennis. And actually, this little trade has been a very good example of exactly that, because we didn't get all our stake matched because I wasn't fast enough. And obviously, that's part of the problem. We're trying to record a video and set up the video and put the stakes in the market at the same time. So anyway, you saw what happened there. Martinkova took an early lead in the first set. Okay, she didn't win the first set, but her price moved in a very nice direction. So starting around evens, went down to 1.6-ish, and yeah, then we got involved, and obviously it's been leveled in that first set, and we're out with a profit. Okay, So yeah, very good example for you there, and as I said, a good example of the tennis markets and how fast they can move as well. You definitely got to be very, very sharp to get in and seize these opportunities when they develop. So I hope you're enjoying it, and I've still got some more real life trading demonstrations coming up, but I do hope that seeing all these tennis trading videos is helping you to have the belief that tennis trading is not as complicated as you might first think. You could argue that tennis trading is actually a lot more simple than football trading, with just two outcomes in the market to handle. But anyway, if you do want to learn more about tennis trading and you want to take it up to the next level, you should download this free ebook, the Ultimate Tennis Trading Course Prospectus ebook. Click the link in the description of this video and we will send it right to you. As said, it's free to download, and this will show you all you need to know about going up to the next level with your tennis trading, including how to trade tennis with zero prior knowledge of the sport. Most people who get involved in trading tennis aren't actually even that interested in the sport. It is really all about the numbers. You don't need to be an expert in the sport. You don't really need to know much about the players. With all the big celebrity tennis players all retiring these days, there's a lot of unknown tennis players involved in the markets, and most of us don't really know who they are, and it doesn't matter because it's all about the numbers. And these days, with the markets getting faster and faster and the live pictures getting slower and slower, you don't even need to watch the match. We just follow the scoreboard or follow the markets and just react like that. So if you're interested in learning more about this, trading tennis, not needing knowledge of the sport, not needing to know about the players, and not even needing to watch the match, as said, click the link in the description, get the Ultimate Tennis Trading Course Prospectus book, and you can learn more about it. Link is in the description. You've got to put in your very best email address and we will email it right to you. If you put in a fake email address, it's not going to work. A lot of people try that. You're just wasting your time. Anyway, once you've done that, it should be emailed to you by the end of this video for you to check out. Anyway, we've got two more examples of this for you to check out. Let's get into it right now. So we've got a scenario where we have an underdog who has taken an early lead in the first set. Okay, so this is Volinets against Sestea. And so Volinets, if I pronounced that right, okay. Probably didn't, but anyway, she is the underdog and she's gone 2-love up. So she is the leader right now, okay? But she has not won the first set. So instead of waiting for her to win the first set before laying her, we're going to get in a little bit earlier. Now, let me show you Sestea's starting price was pretty much 1.28. And so she's obviously risen in price up to 1.63. And Katie, the underdog, let's just have a quick look at that price. And we can see that she started out around 4.5. So we've laid her at 2.58. And so we're looking for the favorite to get back in the match within the first set. That's the idea behind this sort of approach. We're not going to let it run as a bet and see what happens. We're just trying to see if Sestea can just bounce back, level up the match, and then we can lock in a profit. Let's see what happens. It's 2-0 in the first set, and so it's gone to 2-1. So Sestea has won a game, and that was on her serve. So you can see that pushes the market in our favor a little bit. Okay, so we laid at 2.58. Price has already gone out to 2.84, as you can see there. Already some green to lock in. However, we really want it to go back to being level, okay, for a much bigger movement. But I just wanted to show you that, just to show you that, look, you can still get pretty decent price moves just on a favorite winning her service game, okay? Remember, she is the favorite, and when any tennis player is serving, they're also the favorite to win their service game. So that wasn't the hugest surprise in the world. But anyway, she's won her service game. The market's moving in a good direction, and we're looking for her to level it. We really want her to level it to give us the type of move we're looking for to get out. But if you like to get in with these short, sharp trades, you might like that as well. Just get in for one service game and get out with a profit. Anyway, let's see what happens. Let's see how this one develops. And as expected, Sestea has leveled it at 2-2 in this first set. So we're going to just quickly lock in that profit before the prices start to fluctuate and possibly move against us. So we've got it locked in. And just obviously one thing to always point out with regards to tennis trading, if you're getting involved in the first set, the price cannot go to 1.01. Okay, so we laid KT at 2.58. It's not like football where suddenly the underdog might just you know, hit 2 goals in a minute and suddenly the price is down at 1.01 and there's nothing you can do. In the first set, the price cannot go down to 1.01. You cannot win the match in the first set, okay? So there's always going to be an exit point, but from 2.58, probably we're exiting maybe around evens if she goes on to win the first set without us getting our trade off, okay? However, Sestea, such a strong favourite for this, wasn't she? So let's just quickly just see how that price moved on her. 1.3 favourite. Obviously, she went up as high as 1.7. And now back in to around, well, 1.37 as we speak. But anyway, so yeah, that just shows you can use Lay the Leader. We don't have to wait until the end of the first set because some of these underdogs aren't even going to win the first set and you've missed the opportunity, okay? They might just take the lead during the first set, then there's the break back, and then probably from here, Sestea goes on to win it comfortably. Who knows? But anyway, that's just an example of doing Lay the Leader in the first set. And just to show you here, we got involved similar strategy on this particular match, laying Gabriela Roos after she went ahead in the first set, but there was no comeback. There was no comeback at all. It was an absolute whitewash, 6-1 in the first set. So that is pretty much the worst case scenario. But like I said, the price doesn't go down to 1.01. We laid at 1.34. We're going to exit probably around 1.14. Okay, so just going to wait for the prices to settle. It is the end of the first set, and then we'll exit and we'll just lock it in. So that's important to show you because obviously a lot of people do see a lot of these trades and they think that we're risking crazy money, and especially in tennis they're thinking that we sit the money in the market and then it could be like football where a team goes 2 goals up very quickly, then suddenly you can't do anything with your stake. Well, in this case, this was one of the worst case scenarios because this player went and won that first set 6-1. Doesn't really get that much worse than that. However, the price cannot go to 1.01. There's still another set in the very least to play. So in this case, it's gone down to 1.14. So it's around a 20 tick loss. And for us, we're going to lock in a £35 loss. So just want to show you that. It's very important to keep that in mind, okay? Tennis, you're not taking crazy risks at all. So as you can see, pretty simple strategy. Could be a good alternative to the original Lay the Leader strategy. And let's quickly run through it one more time. Remember, you're going to look for a player who breaks early in the first set. I think that's definitely something to look for. An early breaker serve when there's still a lot of games left to play, a lot of chances to lose that service game again. And exit if the first set goes level for a profit, and you've seen examples of that. It going to 2-2, 3-3, etc., etc. And of course, you take the loss if they win the first set without any sort of reply. So if they've taken early breaker serve and then they go on and win it, say 6-1, like we saw, that's one of the worst case scenarios, then just take the loss on the chin in that sort of situation. But of course, when you're getting involved with this strategy, you're going to be on the lookout for the best opportunities, and you shouldn't be picking those matches too often where a player just goes on to win 6-1 in the first set. Ideally, you should be picking more even matches. So anyway, that's the lay the leader alternative strategy. Easy for me to say. So anyway, if you didn't get it earlier on, get this ebook. It is the Ultimate Tennis Trading Prospectus. If you're liking the look of learning how to trade tennis and you're liking the look of these markets and you want to learn more about it, I know a lot of people have been worried that it's very complex and you might need to know a lot about a sport which they've got no clue about, and a lot of people say they don't even know the rules, they barely have ever watched any matches, etc., etc. Well, the good news is you don't really need to, okay? If you want to learn how to trade tennis, inside this ebook we point you in the right direction, how you can learn how to do it with zero prior knowledge of the sport, without knowing the players, and without having to watch the match, okay? Click the link in the description of this video, put in your email address, and we're going to email it right to you, and it should be with you in just a few minutes. And if you're enjoying the videos on this subject and you want to see more, then we have a video on the screen right now. So you might have to tap on that video or click on it to make it play. And then once you're there, go grab another nice cold beer, and I will see you in the next video.